Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here tonight for some NASCAR All-Star Racing action. Get the raw feed on here, and there you go. You guys got a leaderboard throughout the course of this live stream, just like we had for the Open about an hour and a half ago, and now it is time for the main event. It is the NASCAR All-Star Race 2021 edition. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. Welcome everybody into the chat. First and foremost, as I start off every stream, outside of greeting you guys in the welcome, like, share, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We do full race live streams with a realistic broadcast every day on top of other related NASCAR content on YouTube. So here we go. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys down in the chat are as well. Ashton G, Kyle Larson fan, Tyler Burbeck, Dark Crypto, and Patrick Shadley, welcome to the stream. Going to watch the race and listen to your commentary. Thanks. It might be a little delayed, so if you can try to find a way to get it synced up, like maybe, pausing, if you have the capability to, or rewinded part of the race for the very beginning, that might be the way to go. Odin Gaming, welcome to the stream as well. I see some of you guys going for Logano, Kyle Busch. We got an Austin Dillon pick in the chat. My pick is Kyle Larson to win the race, but I was very close to picking Kyle Busch as well. I think he's going to be an outstanding performer. In my race predictions at the end of the Open, I predicted Kyle Larson to win, as mentioned. My dark horse, or my sleeper pick, was Tyler Reddick to compete for a win tonight, finish in the top 10. And then also my pick to not have a good night tonight was Cole Custer. The engines are already fired. They're on the track for their pace laps. And yes, the 2021 All-Star Race is about to begin. One of the more fun nights of the NASCAR season. $1 million on the line here tonight to the winner. The lap-by-lap raw feed will update every time the leader crosses the start-finish line. So when the leader crosses the start-finish line, the intervals will change. You'll be able to see the last lap speed, the best lap speed, the best speed of the race, etc. Any cautions that we get throughout the course of the night for incident will all be on the right-hand portion of the screen. And at the very top, you'll have the lap counter, how many laps to go, average speed, last speed of the field as well. And the actual race time will be in the middle once the green flag drops. Actually have Logano, Larson, Elliott. Wild card pick, Kyle Busch. I didn't think they were going to have Sammy Hagar playing now. I didn't watch much of the in-between Open and the start of the All-Star race. Good thing I'm not getting copyrighted for this. You guys can't hear the music playing. We got Sammy Hagar playing I Can't Drive 55 on the warm-up pace laps for the NASCAR All-Star Race. We'll go through the starting lineup while that's going on your screen. Also on Fox Sports 1 is the race. Front row will be Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch, with Kyle Larson on the pole for the All-Star Race tonight. Row number 2 is going to be Christopher Bell and Cole Custer. Custer locked into the All-Star Race after his one career win at Kentucky. One career win for Bell as well at the Daytona Road Course this season. Austin Dillon, Chase Elliott will be in row 3 for tonight's race. Joey Logano and William Byron will be in row number 4. Row 5, Brad Keselowski and Martin Truex Jr. rounding out the top 10. Michael McDowell and Kevin Harvick will be in row 6. Kurt Busch and Ryan Newman back in row 7. Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin in row number 8. Row number 9 will be Ryan Blaney and Open Stage 1 winner Ross Chastain. And row number 10, it'll be Tyler Reddick and Eric Almirola, also advanced through the Open. And Matt DiBenedetto will start from the rear, all by himself in row number 11, virtue of the fan vote. Dreading NBC because I guarantee we'll see some Jimmy ads on NBC. Yeah, that's a good chance, good chance. I know, the All-Star Race pit road qualifying they have every year, I wish they could have done that too. One of the more fun qualifying sessions all year. It's three laps, isn't it? Start the lap, and then you have to come to pit road, and then you finish the lap, but then you have to run like one actual lap after that too. I didn't think they were going to play the full song. I figured they were just going to play like a verse and a chorus, and that was going to be it. Crowd looks like it's... I mean, he's playing in the crowd, which is actually pretty cool. I thought it was going to be like after the driver introductions or before the driver introductions. I didn't think it was going to be like in the crowd during the pace laps, which is kind of a cool touch. So glad Stenhouse didn't make it after wrecking Chris Buescher. Yeah, that's true. Lights are out on the pace car. They will be going green this time. Kyle Larson is going to lead the field to the green, electing the inside lane. We saw the outside seem to work better in the Open. Surprise, Larson's going to elect to start this race on the inside. 15 laps in segment number 1. This is a 6-segment all-star race tonight. It'll be a random draw on whether or not how the field will be inverted in the first and third segment of tonight's race. Between the top 8 to 12 positions will be inverted. We'll just have to wait and see at the end of stage number 1. At the end of stage number 2, the field will be inverted completely, and then they'll invert the top 8 through 12 again after stage 3. But each of the first 4 segments are 15 laps. Segment 5 will be 30 laps at the mandatory 4-tire pit stop. The fastest pit stop from the crew with the fastest the crew with the fastest pit stop will get $100,000 in that 30-lap 5th segment. Green flag in the air. We're underway at Texas. Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, the Kyle and Kyle show lead their way through turns 1 and 2. 2 by 2 all the way through the field. Aggressive side drafted between the 20 and the 41 down the back straightaway, and they're still 2 by 2 all the way through the field. Kyle Busch hanging on the outside, which again is the preferred line on these restarts in the Open, but Kyle Larson hanging in strong on the bottom, aggressively side drafting Busch. It's like Daytona and Talladega on the first couple laps, and around goes the 20 of Bell. He's sideways in turns 1 and 2. Doesn't overcorrect it, and we stay green. Now the caution waves as the field races by to the outside. What a save by Christopher Bell. Bell just kind of lost it on his own, similar to what we saw out of Bubba Wallace in the Open earlier today, just a couple laps in, maybe on colder tires, and a couple laps into the race, just kind of losing it in that bottom lane in turns 1 and 2. And much like Bubba Wallace, he was able to save it. A lot more traffic around Bell while Bell was trying to save it, and everybody missed him. Caution laps will not count for the All-Star race tonight. That is why the red flag is indicated, but it is just a caution situation, so no actual red flag. Dixon, welcome to the stream as well. Yep, exactly. I'm not sure how they're doing the random draw. Are they just picking from like a hat or something on like how they do the random draw at the inversion? Actually looks like there's quite a few people on Texas Motor Speedway for the All-Star race, I do have to say. Good to see. Christopher Bell does make his way to pit road to put 4 fresh tires back on that race car, so he will have to drop all the way back to the rear. Now, why it is important to finish as high as you can in the first 4 segments is because the 5th segment of the race, that 30-lap segment, the longest segment of the race, is going to be set due to the average finish between all 4 stages. Why'd they throw the caution? Horrible call by... No, I think it was a good call. It was a good call. There was still, even when they threw the caution, most of the field had gone around him, but not the entire field. He spun right in the middle of traffic, too. It would have been different if he spun out of the way, but he was spinning right in line that the field was coming through, so they had to throw the caution for that one. Yeah, I don't blame NASCAR for that. It would have been different if he had spun off the racetrack, like down... Say if it was like off turn 4 and he spun towards pit road and saved it. And then I could see them not throwing a caution for that. Love that Wrangler sponsor on Ryan Blaney's race car this weekend. Well, the smoke out of the rear of the car didn't matter. It was just because he had spun right in the middle of traffic. But a quick caution, no cleanup, and they're about to go green this time. Didn't even have to cut to a commercial in the middle of it, so that tells you. They should have all the green flag racing without a commercial tonight with these shorter segments, so I guess that's a plus side. $100 green flag laps of racing here tonight, 150 miles around the mile and a half Texas Motor Speedway. Kyle Larson was in the lead at the timing of the caution by about a half a car length on Kyle Busch, so he'll get to elected restart lane this time. And again, Larson goes to the inside versus the outside. I'm very surprised. He did not pull away from Busch on the inside lane last time, and I think the outside is better for these restarts, but Larson staying consistent with the bottom. Green flag is back in the air at Texas. Chase Elliott, teammate of Kyle Larson on the bottom. Maybe another reason why Larson could have chosen the inside for the restart. Gets that push from his teammate, but still can't pull clear the 18 of Busch on the outside. 3 wide, further back in traffic right now between Keselowski, Harvick, and McDowell. Tight battle for the lead. Loose conditions with a hot, slick racetrack. And Kyle Larson still cannot clear Busch off turn 4. At the line, Busch will lead the lap with a push now from Cole Custer in the outside groove. Has some lanes going. Kyle Busch to the lead into 1 and 2. Side by side for second between Cole Custer and Kyle Larson. Larson can't pull clear. Custer all over that right rear corner panel trying to side draft. Other Hendrick driver, William Byron's now inside the top 5. On the outside of Chase Elliott for 4th. Austin Dillon Logano side by side for 6th. Very shocked. Again, I mentioned on both the start and that restart on how Larson chose the bottom and not the top. He is able to break past the 41 of Custer through 1 and 2 for second. And look at the speed in that 5 car now as he's within about a car length of Kyle Busch. But now Custer charges to the inside. He wants to get underneath the 5 of Larson and try to cross him over. Byron is tucked underneath the 5. His teammate there trying to give him a little bump draft down the front stretch and get him past the 41 as the Hendrick cars work together. That push is able to get Larson clear of the 41. Custer gets a little sideways in 1 and 2, and Byron is clear for 3rd. Chase Elliott keeps that momentum going after Custer had the lift in the center of the corner, and Elliott now is up to 4th. It is a Joe Gibbs Toyota, Kyle Busch in the lead, followed by 3 Hendrick Chevrolets, 2nd through 4th. Custer Logano, 2 blue ovals, 5th and 6th. These guys going at it very early on. Chase Elliott slides up the racetrack after Custer was able to get right back around him. That slide cost him some momentum, and now Joey Logano's looking to try and get around the 9 of Elliott. Larson is gaining ground on Kyle Busch again. Busch won at Texas Motor Speedway in the playoff race last season. Byron is tucked up underneath the 5 car as well. Still side-by-side racing back in traffic. Austin Dillon makes the move and makes the pass on Logano for 6. Side-by-side for the lead. Now into turn 3. Larson on the inside of Kyle Busch. Busch on the outside trying to hang on that right rear corner panel. He doesn't want Larson to clear, but Larson is going to force himself clear off of turn 4. Larson to the lead for the first time tonight. And after Busch gets cleared, it's Byron to the inside for second place underneath Kyle. Byron almost got into the left rear of Busch off of turn 2. Has to file in line down the back straightaway behind him. How about Ross Chastain from the rear to winning the Open earlier today in Stage 1. How about starting at the rear after coming through the Open to now up to 13th already? Meanwhile, Kyle Busch to the bottom of the track almost cleared Kyle Larson through 1 and 2. Larson gets the run off the high side in the PJ1 to pull clear down the back straightaway. William Byron again charges to the bottom underneath Kyle Busch. Great racing within the top 3 is allowing Custer and Elliott to close that gap now back in 4th and 5th. 6 laps to go in Stage 1. Byron clear of Busch off turn 2 for second. Big pass there late in the segment. Again, the average finish will set up that 5th segment later tonight from all 4 of the prior 15-lap segments. Chase Elliott trying to pull back clear of the 41 of Custer again! Slides up in front of him, nearly made contact with the 41 of Custer, but he is clear and back to 4th. Aggressive block by Chase Elliott. I didn't think he was clear, but I guess he was. Maybe Custer cut him a little extra slack as well with it being early in the race. That's very well possible. Kyle Busch and William Byron continue to battle back and forth for second, much like they were in the Coke 600 when Larson was leading late in that race when they were battling for second and third place at the closing end. Similar battle here as they just continue to pass back and forth. Great battle between those guys. Busch is on the inside now. Byron on the outside. Let's see if Kyle's going to be able to clear him off of turn 2. Not quite. Byron gets the run on the high side, and Elliott is going to get the run on the outside as well, but Busch shuts the door into turn 3. Elliott slingshots to the inside of Kyle Busch for third place. And he slides up in front of Busch, tried to do what he did to Custer, and Busch almost ended up in the wall off of turn 4 and slings his way back around Elliott to hang on to third. Battle for the lead now between Kyle Larson and William Byron as they are 1-2, nose to tail. Busch gets tight, lets out of the gas through 1 and 2. Elliott again to the inside. Got caught in that dirty air behind the 24 of William Byron. That allowed Elliott to make the pass. Couldn't complete it, though, into turn 3. Busch again side drafts the heck out of Chase Elliott and is able to rip around the outside and hang on to third still. And Elliott files in line behind him. A lot of racy action here in the early going at Texas Motor Speedway. 2 laps to go in segment 1 of 6 in tonight's All-Star race. Great race to start. Lot of action all over the racetrack in this 21-car field. Byron's going to have one more lap to try and beat Larson for segment number 1. Ran the outside. Larson went to the bottom that time, giving Byron a huge run. He slings down to the inside of the racetrack into 1 and 2, but he doesn't go all the way down low. Both drivers actually kind of ran the same line with only the right side tires in the PJ1 in turns 1 and 2. It allows Larson to gap Byron just a tad bit. Byron all the way up in the PJ1 now. Larson to the bottom through 3 and 4. Kyle Larson is going to win segment 1 in the 2021 All-Star race, followed by followed by William Byron, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, and Cole Custer, the top 5. And Ross Chastain, the biggest mover from 17th to 9th in 15 laps. I guess the fans get to vote. I guess according to Adam Alexander, the fans have voted. So segment number 2, the top 12 will be inverted. So Larson will be back in 12th. And my man, Ryan Blaney, will be out on the pole to start round number 2. Logano faded on the long run, I'm guessing. Logano finished 10th at the end of segment 1. I'm not sure where he started the All-Star race. I guess he was up there battling for 5th on the opening lap. So yeah, he did lose a couple spots there late. A lot of action, though, for only the first 15 laps, that's for sure. LOL, the only car not getting inverted is Austin Dillon starting 6th. No, because Dillon would have to start 7th with the inversion. And then Keselowski would be 6th. So Ryan Blaney and Kevin Harvick will be on the front row for the restart. Chastain and Logano will be in row 2. Kurt Busch, Brad Keselowski, row 3. Row 4 will be Austin Dillon, Cole Custer, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch in row 5, and then William Byron, Kyle Larson will be in row 6 for the inversion of the top 12 at the end of round 1. Now at the end of round 2, the entire field will be flipped. But again, these guys starting mid-pack that got inverted that were up at the front before still want to race hard, still want to get to the front, because at the end of segment 4, it'll be the average finish from those first 4 segments that will get us into that 30-lap segment for segment 5, the one where we will have a mandatory 4-tire pit stop. I guess it's going to be a pretty fast race pace if you think about it, because the caution laps don't count, so as soon as the caution comes out, it's technically like a red flag. So the overall race time is going to stop. So the race pace, speed-wise, is actually going to be pretty fast for the end of this. Not in points race, so it's not like these stats count for anything, but still. We're going to be seeing some pit stops. Again, the running order will not change during these pit stops, so they can take their time. Make sure they don't make any mistakes. I'm not sure if the rules state if they could change tires or not. I'm not sure how long this break is, but William Byron's crew is underneath the hood of their race car. Oh, okay, that's what it is. It was stated that the crews only have 4 sets of tires they can change, so no surprise that nobody is changing tires after stage / segment / round, whatever you want to call it. Carson Boy, welcome to the stream. Might as well make all the adjustments you can. You can't lose or gain spots on pit road now. We'll see how much the track position is going to matter versus the actual race car starting in round number 2, where those faster cars you saw finish at the front of the field, Larson, Kyle Busch, Elliott, Byron, even Custer looked pretty quick there, surprisingly. He was my pick to not have a good day today. It's only 15 laps, so I'm going to pump the brakes there. He still might not have a good day. Now he's back in traffic, so that could be the case, but we'll see. Again, it'll be Blaney and Harvick on the front row to start segment number 2. Feel like it's going to be Busch or Larson. That's going to be a heck of a Kyle and Kyle show if we get that later tonight. Again, I'm shocked Larson went to the inside both times. Now, he was able to get around Kyle Busch eventually during the stage, but on the restart, the outsides seemed to prevail more often than not. We saw it with Chastain in the open. We saw it with pretty much every other driver after Chastain chose the outside, choose the outside. So I'm shocked Larson chose the bottom. Not once, but twice, and it costed him the second time. So if Ryan Blaney does not choose the outside for this restart, me being a Ryan Blaney fan, I'm not going to be too happy. That's not going to be the right decision. No, 6 wouldn't be in the middle. 7 would be inverted. Blaney going to choke this. Don't say that. He'll choke it if he chooses the bottom lane. Todd Gordon better be in his... He better be in his ear right now saying, choose the outside. Choose the outside. Because the inside is likely not going to be the winning lane on a restart. I'd be shocked if it is later on. You have to really get a good push for it to work. And Elliott was pushing Larson pretty good, and it still didn't work. Wouldn't be surprised if Blaney goes to the bottom. Don't go to the bottom. Go to the top. The bottom is not the way to go. That's the plus side with all these segments in the All-Star races. All the commercials are going to be during the segments. Oh, come on, man. Blaney chose the bottom. Why? Reddick made the bottom work. Well, that's because the PJ1 wasn't activated yet. It was still early in the race. There was no rubber on the track. That's the only reason it worked those first two restarts, because on the last time he didn't get it to work. Blaney chooses the bottom anyway. Kevin Harvick will restart in the outside lane. Segment number 2 underway in the Texas All-Star race. Chastain's all over the back of Blaney. Keselowski also pushing Chastain into turn 1. Got to be careful. Going into the corner. Chastain to the outside. Nearly pushed Blaney right around. Blaney goes up the track to block, and they're 4 wide off of turn 2. Further back in the pack as the Busch brothers get inside of Logano and Harvick. Harvick being pushed down the backstretch on the outside by teammate Cole Custer. Now they're 3 by 3 in the middle of the pack. Meanwhile, side by side at the front with the Penske Fords of Keselowski and Blaney, with Chastain, Elliott tucked underneath them. Oh, Blaney gets turned! No, he saves it! What a save by Ryan Blaney as he about got turned by the 42 of Chastain. And not only he saved the race car, but he holds on to the lead. Oh my goodness. Keselowski still on the bottom of the racetrack though. Blaney is not clear yet. And these teammates are going at it. Still side by side for the lead. Chastain again with another run into turn 1. He's going to make sure he doesn't touch him this time. Custer and Busch about made contact off the exit of the corner. Still the 2 and the 12 are side by side, using their tires, using the race cars up. Nobody has cleared one another. And we are now 3 full laps into the restart, and they are still side by side. And now Keselowski gets into the left rear of Blaney with a little contact. That was more than a side draft that time. That was legitimate contact there between the teammates. And now Blaney goes down the track to side draft Keselowski. Blaney is finally clear and pulls down in front of Brad into turn 3. Oh, Blaney got the inside to work. I stand corrected. It took him 3 laps to clear Keselowski. And he did have to go to the outside to block Chastain on the restart too, but still. And he had to save a race car into turn 1 after almost getting turned by the 42 a few laps later. Logano works his way around Martin Truex Jr. for 8th place on the racetrack. Byron as well gets around Busch for 6th as they alternate positions. Ryan Blaney now down to the bottom lane with Keselowski trying to pick the top in turns 1 and 2 and get that run off the exit of the corner, whatever banking there is, and maybe a little help from the PJ1. Keselowski's also holding up Ross Chastain, who likely has a faster race car, especially after what we saw Chastain and what he was able to accomplish in the Open as well. But if Blaney goes on to win segment 2 after that save into turn 1 after Chastain about turned him, I mean, that would have been terrible right in front of the field too. All stacked underneath one another on a restart. That would have taken likely a lot more than just Blaney out of it. Keselowski is still pulling closer to the back bumper of Blaney. Likely looks like he's got a faster car. Remember, Keselowski finished higher at the end of stage 1 as well. Keselowski couldn't make the move to the inside, though, as Ross Chastain will end up making the move, and he will jump to second place, clearing Keselowski off the exit of the corner. Now Keselowski's going to bump draft Chastain all the way through the corner and sends him into turn 3 and nearly turns the 42 car around. A lot of beating and banging already here tonight in the All-Star race, and we're only in segment 2 out of 6. Final cranking up of the season for Fox. NBC will take over race coverage for the final remaining races this season for the Cup and Xfinity Series. While Fox Sports and Fox Sports 1 will still cover the truck races the rest of the year. Keselowski and Chastain continue to battle back and forth for second as Keselowski clears Chastain off of turn 2, allowing Ryan Blaney to get a couple car lengths ahead now. Kurt Busch also to the inside of the 42 underneath his teammate for third. Both the Ganassi cars already competing for the lead early on, and Kyle Busch, after finishing towards the front, third in fact at the end of segment 1, is up to 5th. Chastain pulls clear on the outside of teammate Kurt Busch into turn 1 though as they continue to battle. Keselowski gains a little bit of ground again on Ryan Blaney. He's within 2 car lengths down the back straightaway. Blaney went to the bottom that time, and Keselowski continues to go to the top. Now that Chastain nor Kurt Busch is close enough to him, see if he can get it to work. Both Blaney and Keselowski go to the bottom that time, and it just looks like Blaney is struggling with the handling in his race car versus Keselowski looks a lot more smoother, which is odd considering that Keselowski's the driver in the dirty air. Keselowski to the bottom through 1 and 2, had to lift. He might have gotten a little tight in the center because he initially had the same line as Blaney. He took a lot wider entry into the corner. Chase Elliott makes a pass on Kyle Busch back for 5th place, barely clearing him off of turn 4. Elliott has been very aggressive tonight when trying to clear a car, especially off of turn 4 in traffic in these first 2 segments. 2.5 laps to go in segment number 2. Ryan Blaney out in front, Brad Keselowski second, followed by Chastain, Kurt Busch, and Chase Elliott the top 5. Byron 6th, Kyle Busch 7th, Denny Hamlin 8th, Cole Custer 9th, and Joey Logano rounds out the top 10. 2 laps to go now. Keselowski still within about a car length and a half of Blaney into 1 and 2. To the bottom of the track goes Keselowski. Blaney wiggles on the outside, but Brad still cannot quite get to that left rear quarter panel to side draft Blaney down the straightaway. Speaking of side drafting, further back for 4th, Elliott makes a move to the inside of Kurt Busch for position. They're side by side right now, still side by side off of 4. 1 lap to go in segment 2 for Ryan Blaney. Still has Brad Keselowski on that back bumper, looking to make a pass. Both cars go to the bottom. They slide around a ton. Keselowski maybe had to lift a little more than Blaney. That 12 car looks mad loose right now. Loose fast if you can hang on to it. Boy, has he been hanging on to it so far. Gaps him a little bit into 3 and 4. Keselowski still wiggling a ton on the slick racetrack, but holds on to second. Ryan Blaney wins segment 2 in the Texas All-Star race, followed by Keselowski, Chastain, Kurt Busch, and William Byron round out the top 5. Tim's going to go get McDonald's if Chastain wins. All right. Ryan Blaney. One caution for incident in the first 2 segments. That was on lap 2, when Christopher Bell had gone for a spin. It says lap 1 on here, but it was lap 2 when it happened. I don't know why it says lap 1 on the caution list. Ryan doesn't deserve that. He sucks. I don't know why Oni bashes Ryan Blaney so much. Now this time the entire field is going to be inverted at the end of this second segment. We will have another 15-lap segment for segment 3. So Ryan Blaney wins this time around, but that means he will have to restart last. Eric Almirola and Matt DiBenedetto will be on the front row for segment 3. Row 2 for the start of segment 3 will be Ryan Newman and Michael McDowell. Alex Bowman, Kevin Harvick will be in row 3. Row 4 will be Tyler Reddick and Kyle Larson. Christopher Bell, Austin Dillon in row 5. And then row 6 is going to be Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano. You're right, Kyle. But man, you're holding a grudge from 1 year ago. I don't think he did it on purpose, but he definitely turned him that day. One way or another, he got into him. I don't know if they were like, what led into that. They might have gotten together or something, a lap or a corner prior, and I mean that would have been the only way. Blaney's not the guy to wreck somebody intentionally, though. So. Comment in the chat down below if you're digging the leaderboard on the screen, by the way. He did it on purpose. I think you're just salty. Oni. You gotta look at both sides of the spectrum. Again, pit stops are going on right now, but the order will not change during these pit stops. Got Blaney over Kyle Busch at plus 130. All right, that's interesting. I would have taken Kyle Busch, honestly, but Blaney has been good at Texas. Remember, he won both stages at Texas in that summer race last season, so he has shown speed at this racetrack. I don't know if he's got the speed his teammate Keselowski's got. The track position definitely helped Blaney out a ton right there. That battle on the restart as well. But Tony Carpio, welcome to the stream regardless. Appreciate you stopping by. Todd Gordon looked like he was about ready to fall asleep on the pit box. I think the heat's getting to Todd. Matt DiBenedetto must have gained a couple spots there because I originally had him restarting up at the front. I think this leaderboard was a little delayed there at the moment. But yeah, if you're digging the live intervals and everything on the screen, let me know and I'll keep these up for future live commentary, live streams of the actual races going forward. I like the plus money, but I get you there. I get you. Yeah, I mean, what's really going to decide this is who's going to have those. I mean, the biggest thing for me is to get the track position for the final segment. To do that, you have to finish, especially this first 4 segments, up at the front as much as you can. You have to fight the inversions. I think the driver who's going to be most consistent is going to restart towards the front for segment 5, and obviously you don't want to have the pit road penalty during that live green flag stop in the middle of stage 5, that mandatory pit stop. Crews are going to be going as fast as they can. You don't want to see maybe them miss a lug nut and make a mistake there as well, because there's $100,000 on the line for pit crews as well. Billy Kramer, welcome on into the stream. Right now, though, Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch, at least through the first 2 segments, look like that they are assuming going to get the better average finish for the end of the 4th segment. because they were up in the top 6 or 7. Well, yeah, they finished 6th and 7th there in segment 2, and they would have finished 3rd and 4th back in segment 1. Ross Chastain perhaps as well, because he was 9th and 3rd. But again, that could change going forward. Real Keegan lives in Ohio. I do live in Ohio. I'm just a Packers fan, that's all. Yep, Almirola and DiBenedetto on the front row. Almirola's going to choose the outside lane. That worked for him in the open. No surprise he's going to work here, and now he's got the track position. We saw he had a fast race car winning the open earlier today. McDowell Newman back in row 2. Lights are out on the pace car once again as we are about to go green. Another random invert at the end of segment 3, just like we saw at the end of segment 1. Virtue of fan vote. Green flag back in the air. Not a big push within those front 2 rows, but Bowman on the outside behind Ryan Newman in row 3 was giving Newman a big push into the corner. Bowman's got his teammate Kyle Larson right behind him on the outside as well. Still side by side for the lead. DiBenedetto now gets a push on the inside lane from fellow Ford driver Michael McDowell. 3-wide dive bomb move into turn 3 for Kyle Busch to get around Logano and to the inside of Chase Elliott as well. Matt DiBenedetto clear, makes the inside work for the second straight restart. Almirola just cannot get going on the outside groove, and he's still got McDowell underneath him. Kevin Harvick seemed a little tight through 1 and 2, and now Busch is up the middle 3-wide between Byron and Elliott. Hard racing at the back of the pack, trying to get the best finish they can. In segment number 3, McDowell closes in on DiBenedetto off turn 4, and Michael McDowell, the 2021 Daytona 500 winner, is going for the lead. In segment 3 of the All-Star race, he jumps to the inside of DiBenedetto. He has a run, and he might be able to take that advantage into turn 3. How about Michael McDowell? Big payday back in February, looking for another one here in June. Bowman and Almirola side by side right behind the 2 leaders and simultaneously bump drafting them as Kyle Larson's now got a big run in 5th place. He wants in on the battle for the lead. Bowman gave Michael McDowell a huge shot into the corner. Can McDowell hold it? No, we'll have to file in line behind DiBenedetto, who pulls clear again. McDowell seems like he's got a faster car than DiBenedetto. Remember, DiBenedetto won the fan vote to get into the All-Star race, but leads currently. And again, McDowell to the inside of Matt DiBenedetto. Matty D hangs in on that right rear corner panel on the outside. Bowman, who cleared Almirola for 3rd, is in the battle for the lead. He goes high behind Matt DiBenedetto. He'll work with the 21, giving him a push. Not physically, but because of the bubble in the air, was enough to help in the draft. McDowell still on the bottom, but is alongside Bowman. Has to file in line behind Bowman in 3rd now. Larson on the inside of Almirola for 4th place. Bowman, the showman, to the back bumper of the 21. The Chevys have been fast on the 1.5 miles this year for Hendrick Motorsports. And we have another one looking for the lead. Remember, Larson won segment 1 earlier. Bowman underneath DiBenedetto. We'll see if he can make the pass now. McDowell failed not once but twice. Bowman tries to get away from the side draft of the 21. Deep line into turn 3. DiBenedetto's still there, but Bowman's got room to clear and does. Up the racetrack goes Alex Bowman to the lead off of turn 4. 8 laps to go in segment 3. Larson in failing trying to pass for position on Almirola. Newman was able to get around him for 5th. Larson crosses him back over now for 4th place again. And Almirola makes a move to the inside down the back straightaway on Michael McDowell. Near contact between Newman and Larson down the front stretch. Hamlin's got a huge run. Bowman, meanwhile, pulling away from DiBenedetto. At the front of the field. No, again, by the way, I do live in Ohio. My home track is in Michigan, that's all. Bowman's had the fastest lap in this race as well since joining out into the lead in that clean air with a 179.21 mile an hour lap. William Byron charges forward back inside the top 10, clearing Austin Dillon for that 10th spot. Denny Hamlin to the inside of Kyle Larson. Outside didn't work. Now he's on the inside, but Larson gets right back around him. Three laps to go this time by for Bowman. He's opened up about a half a second lead on Matt DiBenedetto. Followed by Eric Almirola, Michael McDowell, Ryan Newman, the top 5. Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, William Byron, and Kevin Harvick, the top 10. Elliott and Kyle Busch have been battling all day long. And they battle again even for 14th on the racetrack, 15th rather, on the racetrack right now. And I'll tell you what, Ryan Newman has been known to be a kidney stone in trying to pass on the racetrack before, and now he is once again, because Larson has tried the outside, he has tried the inside. He cannot get around the 6 of Newman for 5th place since Newman got around Larson when he slipped up the track trying to pass Almirola earlier in the segment. Christopher Bell out of nowhere now to the inside of Hamlin for the 6th spot. Not only can't clear Hamlin, but he's not in the draft. We'll see if he can keep a little bit of momentum on the shortest route around the racetrack back to the bottom again through turns 3 and 4. 1 lap to go in segment number 3 for Alex Bowman. Now he's out to almost a 1 second lead on Matt DiBenedetto. That 48 car hooked up. Peyton Sellers, welcome to the stream. Alex Bowman is going to win segment number 1. Matt DiBenedetto second, followed by Almirola, McDowell, Newman, the top 5. And we'll get to see what the next inversion will be. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, So the top 9 positions will now be inverted at the end of segment number 3. Segment number 4 will be another 15-lap segment. And the average finish / cumulative order, whatever you want to call it, but the average finish at the end of the first 4 segments will set up our 5th segment here tonight. Already half the segments are already down in this all-star race. This is the last inversion we're going to have tonight, so we don't have to worry about any more flips going forward. Yeah, they're inverting the top 9 for segment number 3. All-Star Race has always been one of the more gimmick races in NASCAR's history, and this year is maybe the most that we have ever seen flip-flopping the running order. And segment 4 is another 15-lap segment. Already almost halfway home here tonight. Yeah, I'd honestly say it's been a good race so far. Even in the open, I thought was pretty good. For the most part, it was a little sloppy at the start, and I didn't think it was going to get away from that sloppiness, but it ended up getting away from the sloppiness, so it was a pretty good open race. Not great compared to races we've seen in the past recent years as well, but it was good. Now we got a fake Kyle Busch in the chat as well. Welcome into the stream. I'll wreck Blaney. Brex, my son, hates Blaney. Her phone in the car, and that's why. And then we got Kyle Busch Candyman 2021 also down in the chat below. Kyle Busch is always good in the All-Star races. What is going on here? We got a lot of Kyle Busch fans in the chat, though. He's had a good night so far. Three segments, 3 different winners so far. Larson, Blaney, Bowman. With the inversion of the top 9, it'll be William Byron and Christopher Bell in row 1. Row 2 is going to be Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson. Row 3, Ryan Newman, Michael McDowell. Eric Almirola, Matt DiBenedetto, row 4. Row 5 is going to be Alex Bowman and Kevin Harvick, with Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick, the 2 RCR cars, in row 6 for the start of segment number 4. William Byron not only starting out front here in this stage, but the cumulative score is higher for him to start up front for segment 5, which is important because that is the longest segment of the night. 30 laps versus majority of these are 15. You will have to make a green flag 4-tire pit stop mandatory in that 30-lap segment as well. So we'll get to see who the fastest crews will be. We'll see the pit strategy, too. When do you want to pit? You want to pit early? You want to pit middle of the stage, cut it in half? You want to pit late? Because if a caution comes out in the middle of green flag stops in any way, shape, or form, you could be out of luck and be trapped a lap down, perhaps. So it's interesting. It'd be kind of fun. That's what I'm most excited for. I'm most excited for segment 5 in this race because it's gonna going to be a lot of strategy on when to pit in that one. And I think that's going to really be fun and shaping out. And just trying to pick if we're going to get a caution in there somewhere. Zero passing at Texas. It's a one-groove racetrack. Usually, but for some reason tonight, there's been a lot of passing. Now, a lot of it is because there are restarts every 15 laps with the segments in the All-Star race. I mean, that's a huge reason why we're seeing, any sort of passing. So I guess if we were to have a race at Texas, the All-Star race isn't the worst race to have it because, there's going to be a lot of restarts, even if there isn't a lot of cautions for incident. There's only been one of them so far in the first 3 stages, way back on lap 2, and Christopher Bell and just kind of lost control of his car on a restart and spun all on his own. But nobody else hit him. All 21 cars still in the race and still on the lead lap. Red flag conditions because the caution laps do not count tonight, so that's why it's under red. Caution laps don't count. Only green flag laps count in the All-Star race. John Butler, welcome to the stream, by the way. I'm shocked more drivers wouldn't have taken tires there. 4 sets. The only 2 instances were... we know we got a mandatory 4-tire stop, but there's only 3 segments left. We're nearly halfway done with this race already. Average speed of tonight's race is 172.2 miles an hour. Green flag back in the air. Byron elects to restart on the outside with Christopher Bell on the bottom. Larson and Hamlin in row 2 with Hamlin on the outside behind Byron. Larson on the inside behind Bell. The inside has worked the last 2 restarts, but majority of the night it has been the outside. Kyle Larson getting a massive push after pulling up in front of Denny Hamlin down the back straightaway. Larson's going to work with his teammate Byron, and William Byron off of turn 4, trying to pull clear of the 20 on the inside, but they are still side by side. DiBenedetto had a huge run, checks up in line behind Larson on the outside, backs the corner up, gets a big run off the exit. Hamlin couldn't have a chance to move up in front of the 21 because of it. Byron was able to pull clear, meanwhile, of Christopher Bell, and Kyle Larson now is on the outside of Bell for second place. Now we have a fake Ryan Blaney. We've got it all tonight. Crazy. Crazy night. Yeah, we got 3 Hendrick cars, 1, 2, 3 right now in the cumulative order finish heading into the final round with Byron and Larson being the top 2. They are also running first and second as we speak, only helping their cases for possibly restarting on the front row for the start of the 30-lap segment number 4. Already just 11 laps to go in this 4th segment currently. Larson trying to work his way around William Byron. He's all over his back bumper right now. Larson seems like he's got the fastest car in the field. He's just got to work his way through traffic, and so far he has. Ryan Blaney's fought himself back inside the top 10, just past Kevin Harvick for position. He's working now on Michael McDowell and Ryan Newman for 8th and 9th. Blaney inside, and DiBenedetto gets a little sideways, but stays on that left rear corner panel, side drafts him, and he'll send it off into 1 and 2, and we'll see if he can clear him this time. It's like there's a little scuff mark around the left rear tire well of the 21 of Matt DiBenedetto. I don't know if that contact was from this last restart or maybe a restart earlier on. Ooh, DiBenedetto gets sideways in turns 1 and 2, and they're 3 wide off the exit of the corner with Hamlin up the middle being pushed by Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman on the bottom. Now it's Elliott in the middle lane as they're still 3 wide through 3 and 4. The 9 pulls clear of the 21. DiBenedetto has to drop all the way to the bottom of the track now behind Alex Bowman. Bowman and Elliott still side by side, currently for 5th as Hamlin has moved up to 4th place behind teammate Christopher Bell. Halfway through this 4th segment. And now Kevin Harvick has to get out of the gas and loses a ton of spots. 3 or 4 positions right there through 1 and 2. Three-tenths of a second is the difference at the line this time. DiBenedetto continues to slide back now. He was just in 3rd. Now he's all the way back to 8th as Blaney has worked his way back up to 7th place. I didn't think that 12 car looked fast when he was leading with the way the 2 of Keselowski was trying to get around in there in segment 2, but Blaney held on to win the segment, and he's starting to charge through the field now. I still think the drivers to beat have to be Larson and Byron at the front, who are duking it out for the lead. Larson is now within about a car length of the race lead with 6 laps to go in segment number 4. Both drivers, all 4 tires on the PJ1 through turns 1 and 2, as well as Hamlin and Bell back there for 3rd and 4th behind him. 15 people watching the stream right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in here tonight for the live commentary of the 2021 NASCAR Texas All-Star Race. Got the live leaderboard on the chat, or on the channel itself as well, updating every lap. Byron continues to take that line away from Kyle Larson. You got to know that Larson likely wants to run the outside. He continues up there in the PJ1. One of these times he might try to go to the bottom and try to get to the lead. But again, he just holds that same line as Byron. Bell and Hamlin are slowly closing in, but not quick enough to put the pressure on the 5 car quite yet. And that 12 car is on a rail right now as he has just worked his way around Alex Bowman now for 6th. As he slides up in front of him off turn 4. Hamlin now on the inside of Christopher Bell, his teammate, for 3rd place. Side drafts and sends that car into the corner now in turns 3 and 4. Easily clears Bell off the exit of the corner. Another pass for position. 2 laps to go now in segment number 4. Oh man, Larson almost slid into the wall as well as Hamlin off turn 2. All 3 of those guys are really digging at the front. Can't be helping Larson in that dirty air because he keeps picking the same line as William Byron. Blaney continues to progress forward. Ryan Blaney's fastest lap was at lap number 58. In comparison to other drivers around him, Byron's fastest lap was on 43. Kyle Larson's fastest lap was at 49. All very early in the run. Blaney seems to have the long run speed in his race car. Larson goes to the bottom of the track one final time through 3 and 4. But it's Byron who holds it off of turn 4 and will get there first to win segment 4. Four segments, 4 different winners. Larson, Blaney, Bowman, and now Byron win segment number 4, and we'll see what the running order will be of the cumulative finishes when Fox comes back from the commercial break. Like, share, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content right here on the YouTube channel. Post-race analysis of the Texas All-Star race will be on the channel tomorrow. No live stream edition of it this week, though, means there's no fantasy to talk about due to this being a non-points race. "40 laps to go after 60 laps are complete. This will be the longest segment coming up of the 6 tonight. Segment number 5 will be 30 laps. The running order will be set by a cumulative finish / average finish of how the first 4 segments were ran. The highest, which was William Byron, and Larson's going to be second as well. It's just going to be behind those guys. It was kind of tough to think about, but Byron will restart first. Larson will restart segment for this upcoming segment, but we'll have to wait and see when Fox gets back from commercial to see who will have third on back. Just to show how fast Ryan Blaney was that last segment, he has the fastest lap of the race right now of a 29.776. That is nearly a tenth of a second faster than the lap time put by the next fastest driver, Kyle Larson. So look out for Blaney if he can get the track position through this longer 30-lap segment. And you could argue Larson definitely could have had maybe a faster lap if he had the clean air that time around. He just could not get around William Byron longer into that run. Running order, again, will not be changed during these pit stops during the round break. And again, mandatory green flag pit stop. The fastest pit crew during the scheduled green flag pit stops in segment number 5 will win a $100,000 bonus. Cardinals are losing again 2-0. How have they been this season? The Tigers are starting to fall off again, but they did play the best team in the division, so I'll give them a pass if they can get it going again in the next couple series to come. But 18 people tuning in. Thanks for everybody watching here tonight. Again, like, share, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Live commentary of tonight's All-Star race. We're in the break of round 4. 2 more rounds to go here tonight. A 30-lap round 5 and a 10-lap shootout to decide the $1 million winner. And William Byron is out in front with Kyle Larson starting second for this next segment. Again, a mandatory 4-tire pit stop will have to be made in these 30 laps, and it has to be under green. It's a mandatory green flag 4-tire pit stop. So if we get a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. It's going to trap a lot of guys a lap down. But then when the restart happens, those guys will have already made their stop, and then the drivers that still have to pit will have to pit. So it'll be interesting to see how that's going to pan out. I'd like to think that the earlier you can make your pit stop, the better. Because if you do get a caution, you're likely only going to lose one lap. And you should be able to come back from that once everything would cycle through after the caution and after those other guys have to pit, I would think. So if you can pit in the first half of the segment, I feel like that's the best strategy call. The drivers that are going to try to wait it out to the end of the segment to pit, I think that's going to be more risky. We usually don't see a lot of tire fall off at Texas, and we're not seeing that a whole lot again tonight. A little more so than what we did maybe last year, and that's, I think, because of the high heat and the temperatures that this racetrack has been putting down, especially in the open today. It has cooled off a little bit, so it's maybe not as abrasive as what it was during those open races. In the chat down below, comment who you think is going to win. Who do you want to win tonight's All-Star race? Again, 40 laps to go when they go back to green to start segment number 5. And again, Kyle Larson won segment 1 after starting on the pole in tonight's All-Star race. Ryan Blaney won segment 2, Alex Bowman segment 3, and William Byron segment 4. But Byron had the best cumulative finish in the first 4 rounds. That's why he will be out in front to start this 5th segment. My TV started to, I watch everything on Hulu. It was starting to lag on me there, so I had to back out and get back into it again. Yeah, last race on Fox until next year's Daytona 500. Or at least through Speed Weeks next year. So row number 1 will be William Byron, Kyle Larson. Row 2 is going to be Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott. Row 3, Denny Hamlin, and Alex Bowman. Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch back in row number 4 as well. Yes, Blaney merch. Yes, I do. That's my heart pick, but my actual pick was Kyle Larson at the start of the night. So, lights are out on the pace car. Here we go. 30 lap segment 5 underway. The segment I've been waiting for all night long, because this is really going to shape things up for the track position for that final segment. Green flag is in the air. Byron elects the outside on the restart. It has worked more times than the inside, but Blaney is giving Larson a big push into turn 1. Elliott maybe a little longer push on the outside to the back of Byron, but it's Larson who has a half a car length out in front of Byron, but he can't clear. 3 wide further back in the pack with Cole Custer, Austin Dillon, and Christopher Bell. And now Custer continues the run on the bottom lane, dives it into the corner underneath Kyle Busch and Keselowski. Barely clears the 20. The Hamlin's got trouble off of turn 4. Cars have to evade to the outside as we have green flag pit stops going on. So everybody's pitting on lap 1, and when Hamlin checked up to make it to pit road, he nearly stacked up the entire field behind him. Meanwhile, at the front, it is William Byron who gets out ahead of the 5 of Kyle Larson. I am very shocked that we were going to see guys pit on lap 1. But that is the strategy call here. Side by side for third between Ryan Blaney and Chase Elliott. Blaney couldn't make the move, had to lift, and now Bowman gets around him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hendrick Motorsports at the front. Drivers who have already pitted: Kyle Busch, Matt DiBenedetto, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Michael McDowell, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex Jr., and Ryan Newman is currently on pit road. 2 laps in, now 3 laps in at the start-finish line. Austin Dillon will make his way onto the pits to make his mandatory 4-tire stop. Still the top 11 have to pit. Larson all over the back bumper of Byron again. Likely has the fastest car in the field, and we have our first pit penalty of the night. Kyle Busch speeding, entering pit road. He's going to have to take a drive-through penalty, and his chances to win the All-Star race this season have likely gone out the window. Austin Dillon also caught for speeding, and also too fast entering pit road. And Austin Dillon's chances now of winning are slim to none, much like Kyle Busch's, considering we only have about 35 laps to go. Ryan Blaney down onto pit road. He's going to make his green flag pit stop. Alex Bowman has had the fastest pit stop so far this season, so we'll see what that 48 team could do. That's what helped him win at Dover to get the track position late in that race. During the final pit stop of the day, clean pit stop for Ryan Blaney and his crew. All 4 Hendrick cars still at the front of the field right now and have not pitted. A couple other Chevys haven't pit of the Ganassi cars of Kurt Busch and Ross Chastain as well. And then the Stewart-Haas cars of Custer and Almirola still have to pit. Keselowski, Logano still out there. Interesting, Blaney went off strategy of his teammates. Sir Larry McReynolds just stated on the Fox broadcast that the green flag pit stop has to be made before lap 20 of this segment. I did not know that. I figured you could wait until the last lap to pit if you wanted to, but that is not the case. You have to pit within the final 10 laps. Or sorry, you have to pit before the final 10 laps of the segment. Interesting to see if Larson's going to continue to put pressure on William Byron, or if he's just going to wait it out for that pit crew to try and win him the race off at pit road and see if they can gain time there. 24 and the 5 seems so equal here tonight. But it seems like when Larson was out in front, he was able to pull away, versus Byron's out in front. He can't really pull away from Larson, but he was pulling away from other cars when he won segment number 4. Kurt Busch is now down onto pit road to make his mandatory green flag pit stops, now leaving just 8 cars on the racetrack that still have to pit. And they have about 10 laps to do it. William Byron, Kyle Larson, 1-2. Again, Elliott Bowman, 3-4. Keselowski rounds out the top 5. The first driver right now on the leaderboard that has pit is Ryan Blaney in 9th. Then Hamlin, Harvick, Truex, and Custer of the drivers that have already pit. Last lap speed for race leader William Byron was 180 miles an hour. For Ryan Blaney, the first driver off of pit road on those fresher tires, the last lap for him was a 179.9. So their lap times are very equal with one another. Again, you're not seeing a lot of tire fall off here in this one. Plus, it's only about 5 lap fresher tires. So not going to be much anyway, especially at Texas. Texas got to be the track that gives the least amount of tire wear of any other oval on the circuit. Short track, mile and a half, it doesn't matter. First advertisement during the live green flag action tonight, and it's a side-by-side, so I commend Fox for that. I'd say they've been on it so far tonight, which I expected because of the 15-lap first 4 segments, but still. Fridge72, welcome to the stream. Where can I watch the race free? It is live on Fox Sports 1. If you do not have Fox Sports 1, I don't know what to tell you. This is the best option, but this is why I do the live commentary for those that can't watch the race or choose to watch my live commentary of the race. We try to do these every week that I'm not at the racetrack. I will be going to Nashville, Pocono, and Road America the next 3 weeks, so I will not be doing this the next 3 weeks, but I will be vlogging those trips. And again, like, share, subscribe for more content. NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode continues tomorrow on the channel at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do full race live streams there as well with a realistic broadcast. Our debut in the Cup Series. It should be a lot of fun. The Daytona 500. Highly anticipated. We'll see where we start off our Cup Series career. Currently, though, back with the action. 15 laps to go at the line this time. William Byron. Really, every car that has not pitted yet are within the top 6, I believe. Chastain and Almirola are on pit road right now. And the Hendrick cars are all coming to pit road this time. Larson slides the tires, trying to gain all the time he can on William Byron. Got to make sure he doesn't speed. We saw Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch speed entering pit road earlier. Larson was definitely pushing the issue there to get to the 24. And now the pit stops are on again. All 4 Hendrick cars are on pit road. Keselowski, Logano still have to pit, and I still think Chastain and Almirola are on the track. It was tough to tell with the side-by-side. It'll also be interesting to see where Blaney and the rest of the field that already pitted, Hamlin, Kurt Busch, of those faster cars, will cycle. And Chase Elliott came out ahead of Byron and Larson through the green flag pit stops. And that's Kyle Busch. Blaney looked to be a little bit further back. By the time those Hendrick cars get up to speed, I believe they are going to be out in front of the 12 and the 11. Will I do it with NBCSN? Yes, I will not do the main NBC races when I do go to do the live commentary of the races, but any races on NBC Sports Network, just like I was doing with Fox Sports 1. But the nationally televised events that are on the main Fox, the main NBC, I try to stay away from those races. William Byron, Kyle Larson continued the battle. Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch nose to tail right now. But remember, Busch had a pit road speeding penalty, so he is 1 lap down. Keselowski, Logano make their pit stop now. This should cycle Chase Elliott to the race lead, looking to win back-to-back All-Star races. Oh, and Chastain goes around in turn 2. Made a save. Caution is going to wave. Saved it down the racetrack. So Chase Elliott will be in the lead when we go to the restart. Caution is out for the second time for incident tonight as Ross Chastain spins off of turn 2. This should give Kyle Busch the free pass. So he will be back on the lead lap with 11 laps to go in stage 2. It looked like Ryan Newman turned Ross Chastain into turn 1. Oh man, it looked like he almost overcorrected it into the wall. It still regathered the race car. I think he kept it off the wall. He might have dinked the right rear end of the outside wall. It's tough to tell from that angle. But I believe Ross Chastain had an issue. Okay, so at the timing of the yellow, I guess Brad Keselowski is in the lead now, not Chase Elliott. That could have been a better timing caution for Brad Keselowski, and that will break these Hendrick Chevrolets up. I mentioned that Blaney and Hamlin were going to cycle in line behind the Hendrick Chevrolets, but Bowman and his crew had such a slow pit stop that he actually came out behind Blaney and Hamlin. So currently the running order looks like this. Brad Keselowski leads, Chase Elliott second, William Byron third, Kyle Larson fourth, Ryan Blaney fifth, Denny Hamlin sixth, Alex Bowman seventh, Kurt Busch eighth, Kevin Harvick ninth, and Martin Truex Jr. rounds out the top 10. And again, Kyle Busch gets the free pass. Austin Dillon will likely end up just getting his free pass at the segment break anyway. But problem is, we got 21 laps to go right now. And when Dillon gets his lap back, we're only going to have 10 to go. So not going to be a good chance for those guys to win this race. But you never know. You never know. We'll get to see how good of a race car Brad Keselowski had. It looked like he had a pretty decent race car riding in stage 2 behind Ryan Blaney. Couldn't quite get around him, though. We know how fast of a car Blaney's got. So if Keselowski is quicker, now he's got the track position, and we'll get to put that to the test. Plus, with the... Well, never mind. I was going to say the Hendrick cars pitted before him, but they only pit a couple laps before him. So pretty equal tires. Keselowski pitted at lap 70. And then we saw those other Hendrick cars pit at lap 64. No, you don't want to see the big one. No. And you're not supposed to root for the big one. Wow. Only 2 people split Clint Boyer's $10,000 prize there, so it looks like $5,000 winners. I always forget to play that. I only played it once this year. I just never remember it going into the race weekend. I remember my fantasy team, but I can't remember this. You're one off from 2,000. Ah, that stinks. Lights are out on the pace car. They will be going green this time. Keselowski elects the bottom lane on the restart. Elliott to the outside. Outside has worked more times than the inside, but we have seen the inside work twice in the All-Star race tonight. Fight for track position. We got an 11-lap sprint and then a 10-lap sprint to the finish of the race. Battle on these restarts, especially within the top two, going to be heavily intense the rest of the way. Green flag back in the air between Elliott and Keselowski. And Brad gets the jump after a push from Kyle Larson. Byron trying to push the 9 of Elliott, but not to as much avail as the two cars on the inside. Now Elliott gets a launch in the middle of turns 1 and 2 as he's on the outside of the two. And they do hold side by side down the back straightaway with Larson and Byron right there. Bowman gives Larson a push down the backstretch into 3, trying to get the inside rolling further back. Keselowski a half a car ahead of Chase Elliott. Will he clear off of turn 4? No, he will not. Elliott gets the run off the banking. More help from the 24 of Byron behind Elliott. Keselowski still holds to the inside. Didn't side draft him a whole lot right there, and that's going to give Elliott a likely advantage off of turn 2. Now Keselowski pulls up, still trying to side draft him. 3 wide further back in the pack between Martin Truex Jr. and Kurt Busch. And as they side draft each other back and forth, Byron is closing into the back bumper now as he has cleared Larson for 3rd. Blaney on the bottom trying to hold off Alex Bowman for 4th. Here comes Byron to push Elliott now, who has finally cleared Keselowski 2 laps after the restart. As the Hendrick Brigade follows, Byron is cleared to 2nd, Keselowski trying to clear Keselowski for 3rd. And does, off of turn 2. Blaney's got the run now to try and get around his teammate Keselowski for position as well. 1, 2, 3, Hendrick Motorsports, and their 4th car is back in 6th. Larson ducks to the bottom in the center of the corner. He'll get to the inside of Byron for 2nd place off turn 4. 8 laps to go in segment 2 before the mandatory caution. The race is on for the $1 million grand prize. Larson slides up the racetrack in front of Keselowski, who nearly gets into the left rear corner panel of the 5. And Brad clears for 3rd. Larson slipped up the racetrack. 2-car of Keselowski bottoming out in the corner. 24 of Byron still putting the pressure on Chase Elliott. He's all over his back bumper down into turn 1. Blaney now to the inside of Kyle Larson, currently for 4th on the racetrack. Not going to get there. The run on the outside by Larson might let him get the pass on Keselowski into turn 3. He is there. Looks low. Keselowski down to block. Byron wants to desperately get around Elliott so he can have the first lane choice for the next restart. Further back, Hamlin makes a pass on Alex Bowman for 7th place. Logano out of nowhere is up to 6th. Kurt Busch also going to get around Bowman as Bowman drops back to 9th. Kurt's all clear in the center of the corner as he slides up the racetrack. 5 laps to go in segment number 5. Byron tucked underneath the 9. Will he make a move again this time? Not quite. He'll go to the outside as Elliott protects the bottom. Larson to the inside of Keselowski off of turn 2, side by side for 3rd. Larson sends it into turn 3 and clears Keselowski up the racetrack. Blaney's got a run now on Keselowski. He gets to the inside of Bad Brad for 4th. We'll see if he can clear him. Larson might get in the way, and I don't know if Blaney's going to pull up in time. He does. Keselowski gets out of the throttle and lets him go. Blaney to 4th, now getting a big push from Brad down the back straightaway. 3-car battle for third, a 2-car battle at the front. Hamlin and Logano further back, a little separation between the 6th and 7th place cars. 3 laps to go in this stage. Byron cannot get around Elliott, nor can he really get close enough to make that move. Whether he picks the same lane or a different lane, it doesn't seem to matter. And actually, Elliott pulled Byron through 1 and 2, almost as if Byron might have gotten out of the gas. Now Larson slides to the back bumper off of turn 4. He's looking for second place. Keselowski fights back to the inside of Blaney. Meanwhile, they're side by side for 4th, side drafting each other down the front stretch. Blaney goes down the track trying to side draft Keselowski now. Is he going to clear? No, he is not. Blaney gets the run off the top and pulls back past the 2 of Keselowski down the straightaway. Byron again gets another launch behind Chase Elliott. Oh, he got tight. Works up the racetrack, but he stays in the gas. Shakes back and forth. Elliott doesn't know what lane to pick. Starts high, wider entrance into turn 1. And takes the line away from Byron in the center of the corner. Half a lap to go in the segment. Larson closer to the back bumper of Byron again for second place as Byron slides up the racetrack a second time. Larson sparking as he hits the apron, costing him a little bit of time off of turn 4. He can't get to Byron, and Chase Elliott is going to win segment 5. We have 10 laps to go to crown a $1 million champion in the 2021 All-Star Race. Floyd Allen, welcome to the stream. Anti-Chevy fan in the chat. Ten laps to decide the winner. So Chase Elliott and likely Byron will be on the front row for the next restart. Kyle Larson ended up 3rd, Blaney 4th, and Brad Keselowski rounds out the top 5 at the end of 90 laps in the first 5 segments of tonight's All-Star Race at Texas Motor Speedway. It just looks like the overall speed for these best lap times is just getting faster throughout the race too, and that tells me that the temperature is dropping. The track temps are dropping on the racetrack right now because the best speeds that we were seeing early in the All-Star Race itself were about 178, 179 miles an hour. Now it's up to about 180, 181. So the track is getting a little bit faster and a little bit more grip. Cars aren't sliding around quite as much. But a 10-lap shootout to crown $1 million. Chase Elliott trying to go for back-to-back All-Star Race wins. Byron, who only has 2 career Cup Series wins, looking for $1 million tonight. Kyle Larson, who won the last All-Star Race he participated in back in 2019. He'll be in 3rd. Ryan Blaney looking for his first career All-Star Race win. 4th. Brad Keselowski, Logano, a couple other Penske Fords behind them. So it looks like it's going to be Hendrick versus Penske for these final 10 laps, but Hendrick will have the advantage running 1 through 3 going into the final 10-lap sprint. $25 people watching. Like, share, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Greatly appreciate all you guys coming out here tonight. We're going to have 10 laps to go to giving away $1 million to the win. Not me personally, but NASCAR. So we do the live commentary as we had throughout the entire race and as well throughout other races. The last Cup race we were able to cover was at Circuit of the Americas. Coincidentally, Chase Elliott won that day, and he's leading right now. I think it's easy to say Hendrick has been clicking away, primarily at the 550 tracks, but the road courses too. Chase Elliott's pit crew also won the 100 grand pit stop bonus during their green flag pit stop there in the segment. And that's no shock because he came out ahead of Byron and Larson, who he was behind going into the green flag pit stops. He went in third, came out first. Of those guys, Keselowski ended up restarting in the lead because of the caution, but Bobber McBobberson, welcome to the stream. Tornado sirens or fire alarm? I think it's, I don't know. There were I didn't know if you guys heard that or not, but yeah, there were sirens going on outside my house. Joshua Decker, welcome to the stream. Let's go, Chase, number 9. Yeah, indeed. Comment down below in the chat. Who do you think's going to win the All-Star race? This is going to be a heck of a restart. I mean, we've seen crazy restarts with this package in general since its debut back in Atlanta in 2019, but with $1 million on the line and the intensity that we've already seen pretty much from start to finish, not only in the All-Star race, but the Open as well here today. We'll see. Jeremiah Smith, welcome to the stream. So we got a split in the Hendrick camp. We got some Chase Elliott fans. We got a William Byron prediction there. Kyle Larson. All He K Racing. Welcome to the stream as well. Hope 11 or 18. Denny Hamlin is in 7th right now. Kyle Busch has actually charged up to 12th. Remember, he had to take the free pass after the Ross Chastain spin, which brought out a caution late in segment 5, but he has gone from 20th to 12th in that 11-lap stretch there. My pick to win the All-Star race was Kyle Larson. Just throwing that out there. He's got a chance here. But obviously, in my heart, I want Ryan Blaney to win. And you guys are about to see. I'm going to call it down the middle. I will call it down the middle. You know, all the way through like I always do. But if Blaney wins the race, and I call him winning the race, it's a free-for-all at that point. Then you're going to hear me yell. Okay, you're going to hear some... you're going to hear me get pumped. I always wonder doing these live streams if we'd ever do it when Blaney wins. Because if we don't do the Cup Series every week, I'd usually try to do it for one of the races during the week, but I'll switch it up. Sometimes I'll do the Xfinity, sometimes I'll do the trucks. That way I can watch the races on my TV from time to time, too. Here we go. Pace lights are out on the pace car. Elliott elects the outside for the restart. That has worked more often than the inside, and it worked for Elliott on the last restart. Byron on the inside. Ryan Blaney on the inside, row 2, with Larson on the outside in row number 2. 10 laps, $1 million. Hamlin Keselowski back in row 3, by the way, with Hamlin on the inside, Keselowski on the top as well. $1 million on the line, 10 laps to go, and here is the green flag. Elliott got a little loose with the push. Blaney to the inside. He's going to go 3 wide. Blaney is going to go 3 wide for the lead. He's inside of Chase Elliott. What a move. Elliott goes high to block Larson. He's going to get a push. Blaney needs to side draft. But that huge push that Larson gave Elliott was too much for Blaney to handle. Oh, and now the 9 gets crowded by the 5 of Larson. They're up the racetrack. Side by side for the race lead with the Hendrick cars. Unbelievable how they did not crash off of turn 4 as close together as they were. And the race is on through 1 and 2. They're still side by side for the lead. Blaney gets tight further back in traffic. He nearly wrecks and has to get out of the gas, bringing Keselowski to 3rd. And he has a huge run on the 5 and the 9 as they're tucked underneath one another. Logano, meanwhile, the 4th getting around. Blaney, Elliott, and Larson go up the track. 3 wide to the bottom goes Keselowski. And Keselowski is going to get to the lead. A 3 wide pass as the Hendrick cars just about wiped each other out again. Oh my goodness, Larson charging back on the top again though. Keselowski might not have the car that the Hendrick guys do. Larson to the lead. How did Larson get back that quickly? And now he has to block. Kyle Larson. Back out in front with just 7 laps to go. After Keselowski made a 3 wide pass for the lead, Larson got him right back on the other end of the track, but the race is not over yet. Keselowski still within about a car length and a half of the lead. 6 laps to go this time by. Keselowski to the bottom. Larson on the outside. They're side by side for the lead. But Brad cannot hang underneath the 5. And again, it is not over yet. Keselowski keeps that pressure on. Elliott is tucked right behind Keselowski as well for 3rd. Don't count Chase out of it either. 5 laps to go for the 5 car out in front of the field. Larson, who has been on a torrid streak in the points race, is now trying to win the exhibition race for the 2nd time in just 3 seasons. Elliott is all over the back bumper of Brad Keselowski once again, but he doesn't make the move yet. Both Larson and Keselowski go to the bottom. Chase Elliott goes to the top through 3 and 4. Lost a little bit of ground, though, on the 2 cars in front of him. And again, Brad to the bottom in 1 and 2. Larson stays in the PJ1 on the outside, and he just cannot get underneath him. If he could just get alongside of him and side draft him, we're going to have a race once again. But until then, the advantage is in Kyle Larson's favor with the clean air. Keselowski all over the back of the 5 of Larson with 3 laps to go. But again, Larson hangs on. It keeps about a car length to 2 car length advantage into 3 and 4. It seems like Keselowski gets a lot better run through 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2, Larson is able to kind of maintain or gap Keselowski back again. Chase Elliott has now lost touch of Keselowski and Larson. He's a second off the lead with 2 to go. 2 cars under a blanket, $1 million between them. Larson goes low down the back straightaway to try and break the draft. And that helped him gap Keselowski now into turns 3 and 4. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go for Kyle Larson. Brad has another charge going into turns 1 and 2, and he's got 1 more shot at him. He goes down low. Larson again to the outside, and again Keselowski pulls to the back bumper, but he can't get to the corner panel. Into 3 and 4. What lane does Larson pick? Larson goes all the way to the bottom. Keselowski Same line, no chance. Checkered flag is waving. Kyle Larson wins the Texas All-Star Race 2021. Holding off Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott third, Joey Logano fourth, and Ryan Blaney rounds out the top five. What a race. Larson wins it. I thought for a second that Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott wrecked each other out of $1 million when Keselowski was able to get underneath them 3 wide for the lead. And less than a half a lap later, Larson charges on the outside to get back around Keselowski again. The superior car and the superior driver, through all the stages, through all the inverts, still finds a way to victory lane, putting on a show in the process. Three wins on the season for Larson. You could say 4. This is not a points race, but I'm sure being $1 million richer, Larson is still going to be very, very proud of himself after this feat here today. Yeah, Blaney choked. He didn't choke. He had a good run, finished 5th. Kyle Larson's interview. I will let you guys listen to it. I will unplug the mic. Unbelievable stretch for Kyle Larson. I predicted the All-Star race correctly. Second time this season. Let's go.
Like you planned. The season that you're having, the All-Star win with your new team, your 4th win on the season. Do you feel like you're living a dream?
Definitely. I can't believe it. That second run there, we were really bad. I was like, man, we're in trouble. I went backwards that round. So I was like, we got an uphill battle, and did not imagine seeing myself winning this race today. But Cliff and everybody worked so hard on this thing, made some good adjustments throughout those second and third rounds, and got us in position. So, that last restart worked out exactly how I needed it to. I wanted Chase to not get a good run down the back. Thankfully, I think the 12 got to his inside, and I just shoved him down the back, and he probably thought I was going to just follow him, and I was like, there's got to be enough grip above where we've been running for one corner, and it was a little slick up there, but I was able to get it and hold them off from there, so can't believe it.
Congratulations, Kyle Larson is your All-Star winner.
Congratulations once again to Kyle Larson winning the 2021 All-Star race at the Texas Motor Speedway. I gotta say, I think it was better than what most people expected. It exceeded my expectations here tonight as well. It was a fun night of racing. It was a fun night enjoying the race with you guys down below in the chat as well. One quick rundown of the running order, and then we'll get on out of here. Again, like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Road to 1,000 subs, but most importantly, road to becoming a NASCAR commentator. That is why I did the full race here tonight with the live commentary. We do that with NASCAR video games on the daily as well as the real NASCAR races on the weekend. We got the Daytona 500 for NASCAR Heat 5 coming up tomorrow for the career mode, our first ever start in the Cup Series for the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. So tune in for that one. Start time at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow evening. Now through the finishing results here tonight. Kyle Larson once again with the win. Brad Keselowski came in a close second place. Chase Elliott led there late. Lost on that last restart. Ended up finishing third. Joey Logano fourth. Ryan Blaney took the 3 wide dive bomb move to the bottom. Almost got to the lead, but almost was not good enough. Fell back in traffic to finish fifth. Alex Bowman sixth. William Byron really lost a lot of ground. He restarted on the front row. Fell back to seventh. Eric Almirola out of nowhere gets a top 10 and 8th after advancing his way through the Open today, so great run for that 10 team. Kyle Busch finishes 9th after coming from a lap down in the final 21 laps. Unbelievable there. And Kurt Busch rounds out the top 10. And Denny Hamlin rounded out the field at the back, finishing 21st. Not sure how that happened. He was 13 seconds off the lead. So I don't know if he got loose and Fox might have missed it. But I did not see that, and Hamlin ended up way at the back. Yeah, and Blaney wins Tony some money. There we go. Braves football team, welcome to the stream. So confused. Was it just a 100-lap race or some? Yeah, it was 100 laps. The All-Star race is usually a shorter, kind of like a sprint race. Usually not a lot of laps. Winner takes home $1 million. No points on the line. That's pretty much what the All-Star race is. So it's kind of like an off week, I guess, for NASCAR in a sense. But with the non-points race thrown in there. And it's anybody who has won within the last calendar year is in the All-Star race. And then they have an open before the All-Star race where there's a chance for drivers who have not won in the last calendar year to race their way in and try to win that. So that's going to wrap it up. Fox is off the air with NASCAR now. It looks like there's some soccer going on. I'm going to turn my TV off and get likely to bed here pretty soon. Oh, no, never mind. It was just an ad. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy it again. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate the support as always. We got up to 33 people watching here tonight. Great night. And again, it was a great race. Post-race also on the channel tomorrow, but no live stream edition of it because it was not a points race, so no fantasy podcast necessarily. But I will have a video uploaded on my thoughts, opinions from the overall race here at Texas. Brad just dropped his sunglasses off his hat in his interview. That's going to wrap things up here tonight. Again, I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy, everybody.